Hello everyone, this is Ravindra Dundra and welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about class 9th CBSE Geography chapter number 4, that is climate. In the previous lectures about this chapter, we have already discussed about these factors that are affecting the India's climate. So in that, we have seen about this latitude, altitude, pressure and wind system. So now, in continuation with that, we will discuss in detail about this Indian monsoon. As you all know that India's climate is being affected by this something known as this monsoon winds. Monsoon is a word which has been derived from Arabic word known as mausim, which means season. So let us discuss what are the factors that are mainly affecting this India's monsoon and why India is experiencing this monsoon season. So first and very important thing, who noticed this monsoon winds are the mainly sailors. Actually, they have noticed this the seasonal reversal system of these winds. That means, as I have told you in the previous lectures, the winds which are blowing in this direction in India, they go up to the equator, and from there again they will take the reverse direction and they will start blowing in this direction, which we call it as this southwest direction. So in this reversal of wind system was actually first noticed by these sailors who are actually coming from other parts of this world, maybe this Africa or Europe. So they have noticed and they have even got benefited because of this reversal of the wind system. Why? Because if they are going by a ship or any boat, what happens? Because of no mechanized boats, the wind carries easily their boats to the coast of this India. So like that, these sailors have got benefited, and later on even these Arabs also noticed this seasonal reversal of the winds, and they have named it as this monsoon winds, which I have already told you. Monsoon is an Arabic word which has been derived from a word known as mausim, which means season. Then these monsoons are mainly experienced in the tropical area between 20 degrees south and 20 degrees north. That means the seasonal reversal of the winds, that means the monsoon system is mainly affected between this tropical area. So where it is located is that it is located between 20 degree north and 20 degree south. So this particular region, you can say this particular region, it experiences this monsoon throughout the world, and we need to notice some of the important facts, because how this monsoon is affecting depends upon these facts. So the first and very important fact is that it is the differential heating and cooling of land and water. So remember that one important fact, that land gets heated easily, at the same time becomes very cool easily. But if you take the water, it will take a lot of time to get heated up, at the same time to cool down. But whereas land gets quickly heated up and at the same time it quickly cools down. So whenever the land gets heated up, what happens? There will be high temperature. So high temperature means what will happen? There will be low pressure. So that means this particular region, it will experience this low pressure, and the oceans or the seas which are surrounding here, they will experience this high pressure. Why? Because land can easily gets heated up. So when the land gets heated up, what happens? It creates a low pressure. So low pressure always attracts the winds from high pressure area. So where high pressure is located? The high pressure is located in this region. So therefore the winds are attracted towards this low pressure area. That means they'll start blowing in this direction. So the first and very important factor, if we want to understand about the Indian monsoon, means we should know that the difference in heating and cooling of the land and water. Land heats up quickly, cools down quickly. Water, it takes time to heat it up, at the same time cool down. So therefore, because of this difference in heating, the winds are blowing in this direction. So this is the first and very important fact. So next factor we will see. Let us discuss about the next very important fact about the Indian monsoon, that is the shift of the position of the intertropical convergence zone in summer over Ganga plains, or you can also call in short it as ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone. So first let us see what is this ITCZ, then why it shifts over this Ganga plains during the summer season. So first let us see what is this ITCZ. ITCZ means it is a broad trough, or you can say an area where the winds which are blowing from the northern hemisphere, at the same time the winds which are blowing from the southern hemisphere, and these winds they converge at a particular place. So that particular place we call it as this ITCZ, and here in this ITCZ there is completely something exists, that is this low pressure area. The reason is that you can see the sun rays are directly falling on the equatorial region throughout the year, which means there will be more temperature. Then what happens if there is a high temperature? There will be low pressure. So ITCZ is an area which is nearer to this equator, maybe 5 degrees north or 5 degrees south of the equator, where it is a completely you can say it is a completely a low pressure area where both northeasterly winds, at the same time southeasterly winds, which they converge at this particular point. So this particular zone we call them as this ITCZ or intertropical convergence zone. But what happens is that it is not stable here. It always shifts. Sometimes it shifts towards the northern side, sometimes it shifts towards the southern side. So here what they have mentioned, the shift of the position of the intertropical convergence zone in summer over Ganga plains. So you all know that where Ganga plains are located. So here in the northern part of this region Ganga plains are existing. So then how does it shift towards there is that you need to understand the rotation of the earth. So you can see different positions of the earth when it revolves around the sun. So here you can take you might have learned in your 7th or 6th standard about this equinox on September 23rd. Then you must have learned about June 21st, at the same time December 22nd. So these particular positions our earth experiences equinox, that means equal day and equal night, where the sun rays are directly falling towards the equator. But if you take when it starts moving from March towards the June, what happens? You can see the northern hemisphere is completely facing towards the sun than this southern hemisphere. That means you can see the sun rays are directly falling on the northern hemisphere compared to this southern hemisphere. And as you all know that India is located in the northern hemisphere. So which means wherever the sun rays are more, what happens? There will be intense low pressure area. That means this position of this ITCZ will slowly start shifting towards this Ganga plains, which are located in the northern part of India. Why? Because this particular place in India will receive intense sun rays during this summer season. So that is the reason why it shifts towards the northern side. And as usual, again during on the September time it will be again on the equator, and in the winter time, which is we call it as this winter solstice, the sun is directly falling in the southern hemisphere compared to northern hemisphere. So therefore why it shifts is that it is because of the revolution of the earth around the sun. So when it revolves around the sun at this position, what happens during summer season? Northern hemisphere is facing more towards the sun, and at the same time this particular region in India receives intense sun rays. Therefore there will be higher, or you can say there will be low pressure here in this particular region. So therefore what happens? If there is a low pressure, automatically the winds are attracted towards the low pressure area. So you all know very well the winds always move from high pressure to the low pressure area. So because of this low pressure created here due to the shift of ITCZ from here to here, because of the revolution of the earth, what happens? The winds are attracted towards this low pressure area. So this is the second important fact we need to understand about this monsoon. So next we will see the third very important fact about monsoon. The next very important fact which we should understand to know about this Indian monsoon is that it is about the presence of the high pressure area on the east of Madagascar. So first let us see where this Madagascar is located. So this Madagascar, if you look into the world map, just imagine it's a rough image of this world map. So here this one is Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Australia, Asia, so like that. So here in Africa, on the eastern side of this Africa. So here this country known as this Madagascar is located. So on the eastern part of this Madagascar, that means this particular region, here there is something known as this high pressure area. So why there is a high pressure area in this eastern part of Madagascar is that it is because of this presence of this Southern Ocean, or you can also take this Antarctica region. So because of this, what happened, you all know that there will be low temperatures. So if the low temperatures are there, means what happens, it creates this high pressure area. So on the eastern side of this Madagascar, this particular region, there is a lot of high pressure area due to low temperatures. So because of this high pressure area, automatically what happens, air always moves towards the low pressure area from high pressure area. So here just now we have seen a lot of low pressure is existing, and here there is a high pressure. So what happens, automatically the wind will be attracted towards this low pressure area. So this is also one of the main reason why we are experiencing this monsoon season. So whatever the wind that is blowing from here to here, it carries some kind of moisture clouds which cause rainfall in this low pressure area. So the next very important fact is that it is about this presence of this something known as high pressure area on the eastern side of Madagascar. So this because of this high pressure, it always attracts towards the low pressure area, and this land part of this India, we are experiencing low pressure. So therefore it will be attracted towards the low pressure area. So next we will see the other important facts. Let us discuss the other two important facts to understand about this Indian monsoon. The next one is this: the Tibetan plateau gets intensely heated up during this summer season. So first let us see where this Tibet is located. So you all know that the Himalayas are located here, and the northern part of Himalayas, this Tibetan plateau is located, and it is located at a height of 9,000 meters from the mean sea level. That means if we compare from the mean sea level, the Tibetan plateau is located very much high. You can say 9 kilometers or 9,000 meters above from the sea level. So because of this, what happens is that it gets intensely heated during the summer. Why? Because since it is lying very high above the sea level, there will be more insolation from the sun. So which means insolation means the incoming energy of the sun. So this Tibetan plateau receives more heat during the summer. So more heat means there will be more temperature. So if there is a more temperature, means you all know that what happens, this particular region will experience this low pressure area. So if there is a low pressure area, means what happens, the air becomes thinner or lighter. So if the air becomes thinner or lighter, it starts raising up. So when it starts raising up, it raises up from this plateau region till this tropopause, or to the end point of this troposphere, and after that it will start subsiding into different directions. So this is also one of the main cause why we experience this monsoon. So because of the intense heating up of this Tibetan plateau, we experience this monsoon. So that is one important fact. Then the last very important fact is the movement of westerly jet stream to the north of Himalayas, and the presence of easterly jet stream over Indian peninsula. So we have seen what is this westerly jet stream, and we have also seen that this westerly jet stream, which is blowing from this western part of this world, it blows always on the southern part of Himalayas during this winter season, or you can say except in summer, remaining all the seasons, this westerly jet stream which is blowing from this western direction, it always moves on the southern part of this Himalayas. But in summer season, what happens is that this jet stream, it changes its direction towards the northern part of this Himalayas. So that means throughout the year it is blowing on the southern part of Himalayas, especially over this Indian plains, northern plains, but in the summer season it blows towards this northern part of Himalayas, and at the same time the presence of easterly jet streams. So how we get this easterly jet streams is that just now I have told you, here there will be low pressure. So air raises up, it raises up and it starts subsiding in different directions in the troposphere. So from that it slowly starts moving towards this Indian peninsula, so which we call them as this easterly jet streams. So because of the presence of easterly jet streams and at the same time the movement of the westerly jet stream from here to here during the summer season will also affect our Indian monsoon. So with this we have seen 5 important facts about this Indian monsoon. The first thing is the difference in heating up of the land as well as this ocean. So what happens, land heats up quickly and cools down, so therefore here the low pressure, here there will be high pressure. Then second thing we have seen about this shift of this ITCZ, intertropical convergence zone, towards this Ganga plains, or you can also call them as this northern plain region. Then we also seen the presence of high pressure area on the eastern part of this Madagascar. Then the next one we have seen about this Tibetan plateau and it's heating up, at the same time the movement of westerly jet stream towards the northern part of Himalayas. So all these facts will affect this Indian monsoon, and at the same time there are some other 2 important things which will also affect our Indian monsoon. So there one is simply you can also call it as this ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation, about which we will discuss in the next lectures. Thank you.